subject of what we're going to talk about today. So we all probably know that seeds are just new little baby plants just waiting to get their chance to grow. And seeds need water, they need sun, they need nutrients, and they need soil. But one thing that we don't always think about is that seeds need space. They need a place to grow. And while plants can't get up and move, their seeds certainly can. And we're going to talk about the ways that that happens. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate one method with this Joe Pie weed behind me, just like that. So Alex, why don't you get us started by talking about some of the ways seeds move?
So we have two different categories for how seeds can be scattered. And the first category I'll be talking about are abiotic factors. Abiotic meaning non-living factors on how these seeds are dispersed. So the first one is wind, which Heather just demonstrated for us. So wind is a great disperser of seeds. Light, fluffy seeds often get carried by the breezes. Here we have a nice grass, and you can see these light, fluffy seeds can just be blown away in the wind. Another one that you might be familiar with is a dandelion seed head that you can blow, and the seeds get blown away with your breath. Another abiotic factor is water. Water is obviously here in our water garden, and we have lots of plants, and if you watched one of our previous videos, you know maybe a plant that uses water to do this. Another example of seed dispersal in water is from the coconut, which is the largest seed of any plant. The coconut gets carried along the ocean currents to be dispersed at a new island or another sandy beach, wherever it finds. So Heather, those are the abiotic factors. Heather, tell us about the biotic factors.
Yes, so biotic means that the seeds are using something living, namely an animal, to help move them along. So one way that this happens is when seeds cling on to fur or other parts of an animal. So one example of this in our native prairies is the bison. But you might have done this on accident when you were walking around outside. So if you've ever taken a walk and then realized you had seeds or burrs covering your pants, you were accidentally dispersing those seeds. So no harm, no foul. Another way that seeds get dispersed by animals is by being eaten. So all flowering plants produce fruits, and those fruits are just a package for seeds. And sometimes those fruits are kind of dry and brown and boring, but sometimes they're really colorful or even really delicious. And that's not an accident. Those delicious fruits want to be eaten by critters and then spread when they move. So some seeds actually will only germinate if they've gone through an animal. And as gross as it sounds, a pile of scat is actually a really great place for a seed to get its start. It's really good fertilizer. So we're going to actually go through a couple demonstrations and show you examples of how some of these seeds disperse. So Alex, why don't you start?
So we'll start here with a few of the abiotic factors that we talked about. We have first this seed pod. Heather, can you guess what this seed pod is from?
Well, that's a milkweed, of course.
This is a milkweed seed pod, and when I turn it over, you can see all of those fluffy seeds, and our wind kind of died down, but these are very easily dispersed by the wind. There they go. So the seed is attached to this white fluffy piece, and that brown part is the seed of the milkweed. So that one is definitely wind. Heather, do you have another one you want to demonstrate?
Yes, so let's start with those delicious, yummy seeds that critters eat. I have some examples here. So this is a walnut, and we can actually see it's been eaten by something, and the seeds were likely spread. We've got some other ones here, some acorns that have been nibbled on, and then some more yummy seeds. Even people like to eat sunflower seeds. Corn is another great example, and the Ohio buckeye. These are all either eaten or buried, stashed for later, and then grow into new trees by accidental foresters, squirrels, birds.
Yeah. So if they forget about that seed in the springtime,
What's going to happen?
plants are so smart. They're making the animals do their work.
Absolutely.
So another one we have, you might know this one. This is a pretty common seed you might find in the fall. This is from a big tree that we have here. This is our maple seed. And this is, some people call them helicopter seeds because of how they fly. So I don't know if Sydney can catch this. Here we go. We're going to throw it up and see if it'll fly. There it goes. So these have wings on them to help them move around. Those are the maple seeds. Kind of fun. The other one I have is from our lotus. And if you know, if you've been to the garden, we have lotus here in our water garden. So these plants are aquatic plants. These are the seed head. It kind of hangs over the water, and those are some seeds inside. Here we have some seeds in a little container of water. Let's see if these float, and they do. That one is sinking. That one's sinking. So this one could float along the pond or the river, and then eventually they sink to the bottom, and then they grow a new plant wherever they are. So some of them float and then sink later to be germinated to a new plant.
All right, I have one more demo I want to show you, and that's the other biotic factor where seeds cling to fur. So I'm going to use my little bison fur, of course, and demonstrate. These are cockleburs, and I'll actually let you zoom in. This cockleburs came before Velcro. They were the inspiration for Velcro because of all those little hooks and how well they cling on to fur. So let's demonstrate that. Oh, bison goes walking by.
Lays down.
And there you go, lays down in the cockleburs, and now he's going to spread those wherever he roams. And I've got a couple other good examples of those clingy seeds. These are from rattlesnake master, a native prairie plant, and you can see and kind of hear how rough they are, and they cling on just like Velcro. And one other, this is actually growing in our Savannah garden right now. It's a beautiful seed head covered in these little white hairs that look, again, just like Velcro. So this is prunella, and it's another one that's distributed biotically with fur.
So as you can see, there's so many things we can talk about. Seeds, their shape, their size. We have a bunch of different seeds here. We have seed heads. This is from an indigo, kind of fun. There's shakers, there's seed pods, there's different shapes, colors, sizes. Seeds are so cool. If you want to learn more and you have a young person in your life, you can join us for our Story Sprouts program that is geared towards ages 0 to 5. You can come join us for a story, a short activity, and some exploration in the garden focusing on seeds. And we will be practicing social distancing with that. And that is on Saturday, September 26th, so we hope that you join us for that. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for our next Plant Fact Friday, you can put those in the comments below. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for learning about seed dispersal today.